Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Y'all didn't notice it's June the 30th. Time is 8:30. We're meeting at the Madison County. Well, no, it's not Madison County. It's West Tennessee Research and Educational Center, 605 Airways Boulevard, in room 150. If you'll all rise. Commissioner Wall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today, we have Commissioner Mike Wright's going to lead us in our invocation and pledge today.
Good morning. I'd invite everybody to join in the Lord's Prayer in a moment. Let's bow our heads. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for all the blessings you've bestowed upon us here in Madison County, and please help us to be a light that shines your word so that others may come to know you. And please allow us to pray as you've taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Roll call.
Abernathy.
Here.
Ada. Alexander. Here. Arnold.
Yeah.
Black.
Present.
Bond. Brown.
Yeah.
Bryant.
Here.
Bryant. Mike.
Here.
Eaton.
Here.
Ellison.
Here.
Godwin. Hill. Hall. Here. Hicks. Here. Johnson. Jones.
Present.
Martin.
Here.
Mercer. Montague.
Here.
Neoff.
Here.
Taylor. Tippett.
Here.
Wall.
Here.
Watson.
Here.
20 present, Mr. Chairman. 20. Yes, sir.
I see 3 absent.
Sir.
Harley's not here.
Got Johnson, Hill, Godwin, Bond, and Ada.
20 present. 5 absent. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting on June the 20th?
We didn't present any.
We didn't present any, so we don't have any. Item number 3, report from the county mayor. Item number 4, announcement from the chair. I'd like just to make just a comment on the budget committee and thank them for a lot of hours and time put in to put together a budget that is responsible, I think, for the people of Madison County, and I think we should all be proud of the work that they've done. Some of you may not be proud of it, but I am, so I appreciate it. Item number 5, report from the county officials, standing and special committees, old business, acted thereof by this board. Any reports from any committee? None, that's good. Item number 6, report from the county mayor. No reports. Very good. Item number 7, any amendments or transfers to general fund, school department, capital project, highway department, debt service, juvenile court service, budget for fiscal year 2022 and 23. Commissioner Alexander.
I have 6 from the school side and 12 from the county side, some just last minute amendments. You see the school on the board there. Number 1, $1,200 for director of schools, amount needed for expenditures to close out fiscal year 23. This was a committee recommendation to approve.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 2, $160,000. This is for regular instruction. It was amounts needed for expenditures to close out fiscal year 23. Again, it was a committee recommendation.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 3, $100 for health services, amount needed for expenditures to close out fiscal year 23, committee recommendation.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 4 for $6,820 vocational education programs, amount needed for expenditures to close out fiscal year '23. Committee recommendation to approve.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 6, $198,500 was the operation of plant, amounts needed for expenditures to close out fiscal year '23. Committee recommendation.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Move over to the county side. Item 1, these are all, the first 7 items are all from fund balance. General year end, various departments, $26,677.70. Budget amendments to adjust overages and salary fringe benefit line items from fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 2, also various departments, $26,405.22. Budget amendment to adjust overages and salary fringe benefit line items from fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 3, $314,280. Budget amendment to adjust overages and salary fringe benefit line items from fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 4, $102,840. Budget amendment to adjust overages and salary fringe line items from fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 5 was juvenile court services, $17,810. Again, budget amendment to adjust overages and salary fringe benefit line items from fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Item 6 was special purpose various grants, $6,460. Budget amendment to adjust overages and salary fringe benefit line items from fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Last one in this category was for highway, $8,100. Budget amendment to adjust overages and salary fringe benefit line items for fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Next 2 items are insurance recovery funds. EMA disaster relief, $13,121. This is a reimbursement for the EMA department.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Number 9 is the election commission, $106,238.53. This is the reimbursement from the city of Jackson for the mayor's race and runoff race.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Next is transfers, circuit court, $500. This is to transfer money to part-time from deputies to recover the remainder of year.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Next is Sheriff's Department, Drug Task Force, $54,000. This is the transfer funds from the Drug Task Force revenue to Drug Task Force undercover drug funds.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Last one is Sheriff's Department, $35,000, transfer funds from drug control revenue to drug control law enforcement equipment. It does not affect general fund balance.
Committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
That completes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Before I go any further, I'd like to make, I should have done this already, give you an update on Arthur Johnson, Bo Johnson. Many of you may not have known he had a stroke a couple of days ago and he's in the hospital, but he's doing very well. That's the last report we had. He was doing very well. Did they give you an indication how long he'd be in the hospital?
They're hoping that it goes to rehab this afternoon.
Go to rehab? Okay. Item number 8. Possible acceptance of resignation from Greg Milan for the West Tennessee Healthcare Board of Trustees.
Make a motion to accept.
Have a motion? Have a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Item number 9, consideration of rezoning property located at 422 Smith Lane. Stan Pilot, you own. There you come.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
Good morning, County Commission. You have the materials pertinent to this rezoning request. They are requesting industrial rezoning. The property surrounding it is industrial, so the Planning Commission is recommending approval of it to you.
Commissioner Tippett,
Make a motion to approve.
have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Item number 10, consideration of resolution to abandon unapproved rights of right-of-way for Jackson Avenue and Liberty Avenue in Mercer, Tennessee.
All right, you have the materials pertinent to this request. When Mercer was a town, an incorporated town, there were right-of-ways that were established for streets in Mercer that were platted that way. And over time, Mercer stopped being a town and those right-of-ways reverted to the county. And they've kind of been out there for all these years, but they're unimproved. They're really not used for any access. They're not on the county road list because, again, they're not improved. Most, well, I don't say most, but a lot of the property owners don't even recognize them. If you look at the tax maps, they've just kind of incorporated them into their property, but that doesn't remove the encumbrance that's out there. So that's why we're doing it now, to finally clean all that up and just remove those unimproved right-of-ways so they're not encumbrances on the properties out there. And there has been a question or two from some of the county commissioners about what happens once the county abandons them. If you do, it'll be just like any other right-of-way. Half interest will go to one property owner and half interest will go to another.
Commissioner Tippett?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion second. Any other discussion?
I've got a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
On these, like McGlathery, and Preservation, well, not McGlathery, but Preservation Road, which is to the north of what I'm assuming is Papa Daddy's there. And then there's a driveway right behind that, and I know Bart has been called with highway several times, the owner of Papa Daddy's, wanting to see if we could re-gravel that drive that's around the restaurant. The owner has contacted me several times and wanted to know if they could just, like what we're doing here with that Preservation Road, it's not even gravel hardly anymore, it's dirt and it's very short and everything like that. What is the process by which they can go through to be able to make this happen to where that can revert back to the property owners like that?
If it's a improved right-of-way that's currently a part of the county road list, if it affects more than one property owner, then all property owners would have to agree to that, because if anybody uses it for access or anything, then they probably would want it to see it abandoned. But if it's just serving one property owner and really doesn't serve anyone else, and there's really no public interest in that road, then they would go through the same process and just abandon them. Then Bart would remove it from the county road list maintenance.
Bart probably has more details on that, or how we could do that.
Yeah, I've been contacted a few times about that as well. But right on that map there, it's kind of upside down, but where it shows the word Preservation Road, that little section right there, all right, get from there. Okay, yeah, right at the very top of the screen, that part of the road that kind of runs northeast, southwest, that's not on the county road list. It's platted and it's shown on the tax records, but it's not on the road list. That Preservation Road runs on the county road list from McGlathery to over to, I guess, South Front or Sturdivant, right in that area. But that part that Commissioner Wall is talking about is, I think it's just a gravelly dirt area that it is used for access to get into those buildings and stuff, but it's not, I wouldn't call it improved. It's just rough. It's not been maintained. I think the property owners have dumped some gravel on it from time to time, but I know that's not what we're discussing here today, but that's the background on it.
And that's what she wants to do, is she wants to continue to do that, but she doesn't want to continue to do it if it's, if she's not allowed to do it per se. So that's what I was wondering what the process was, so I could go back and let her know.
Well, if it's not a county, on the county road list, then, it's basically still a public right-of-way or public way. And the only thing that comes into play with these public ways, things that have been used by the public for a long time, if it is abandoned, if she's getting full use of it now, well, if it's abandoned, then she'll only get half. If she's on one side and another property's on the other, she would lose the right to use what she's using. So that would be the only thing to look at, is if there's property owners on both sides, then somebody else is gonna get a half of it.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that.
But she's only asking to improve it on her own.
Yeah, she wants to do it on her own, but she doesn't want to do it if she's not allowed to do it, and it belongs to.
If all of it's benefiting her and she's kind of used it and she's willing to throw some gravel on, I'd say I would keep that situation, because she might lose half of it if she goes through the abandonment process.
Yes, sir.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Item number 13. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I've jumped. Number 11 is consideration of a resolution to amend the text of the Madison County zoning resolution, outer region RV park.
You have the materials part of this text amendment. Currently in the county's regulations, there are two regions. One is the inner region, one is the outer region. In the inner region, the resolution has provisions for RV parks and travel trailer parks, but in the outer region, there was no provision for that. So we modeled this text amendment after the one that's in the inner region. The only difference is RV parks, some are done well, some are not. So in a way, kind of like how we handle solar farms, things like RV parks they can be good in some instances and not in others. So we've created a two-step process like we have with solar farms, where they will have to go through a recreation zoning, rezoning to come before you. So you'll be the gatekeeper on whether something is appropriate or not, and then the Board of Zoning Appeals will handle it in terms of the site plan and what they're going to do with the property. So that's worked well with other uses that have impacts, especially in our rural parts of the county. And so we modeled it that way. So it will be a two-step process, and you'll be the first step. So again, the Planning Commission is recommending this to you.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Have a motion, second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.
Thank you all.
Stan, thank you.
You're welcome.
Item number 12 has been removed from the agenda. Item number 13, consideration and possible adoption of a resolution fixing the real property tax levy of Madison County for the fiscal year July 1, 23, ending June 30, 24. Commissioner Alexander.
And can you put that penny allocation up there, sir? Thank you. Just to go over again on the penny allocations for this year's budget, 1 penny after we,
Which one did you want, sir?
the penny allocation.
Got it.
The penny now equals $313,292. If you want to go over the general fund, we've got 1.07 budgeted for that. Juvenile court services, 0.08. Solid waste, 0.03. Highway, 0.05. General purpose school, 0.04. Debt service, 0.44. That one is down. We had 52 in that one last year. We did reduce that one down to 44 this time. We were able to handle some capital needs requests by doing that. Capital projects, 0.13. Other special, total, 1.8736. And that was, the remains, our tax rate from last year, tax rate did not increase at all.
Committee recommendation? Any discussion? Roll call.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Aday, Alexander,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Bond, Brown,
Yes.
Brian Cindy.
Yes.
Brian Mike,
Yes.
Heaton,
Yes.
Ellison. Yes. Godwin. Hill. Paul.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Johnson. Jones.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Mercer.
Yes.
Montague.
Yes.
Neoff.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Tippit.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Watson.
Yes.
I heard 20 yes, Mr. Chairman.
20 yeses,
0 no, 5 absent.
5 absent.
Yes, 0 no, 5 absent.
Tax rate is approved. Item number 14, consideration of possible adoption of the proposed budget for Madison County for the fiscal year July 1, 23, ending July 30th, 24. Commissioner Alexander.
It is the Budget Committee's recommendation to approve this.
Any discussion? Commissioner Wall.
Mr. Chairman, as a employee, this action creates a conflict. Please let the record show that state law requires my declaration. It also creates an exception on allowing me to vote on this budget on behalf of those that I represent.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Day. Alexander.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Bond. Brown.
No.
Bryant.
Yes.
Bryant Mike.
Yes.
Keaton.
Yes.
Ellison.
Yes.
Godwin. Hill. Paul.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Johnson. Jones.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Mercer.
Yes.
Montague.
Yes.
Neoff.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Tippit.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Watson.
Yes.
19 yes, 1 no.
19 yeses, 1 no. The budget for Madison County has been approved. Item number 16, election of no Republicans.
We gotta do 15.
15.
We just did 14 on the,
I'm trying my best to get out of here. Item number 15, consideration of possible adoption of resolution making appropriation for the various funds, departments, institutions, offices, and agencies of Madison County for the fiscal year July 1, 23, ending July 30th, 24. Commissioner Alexander.
Recommendation. It was a committee recommendation.
Committee recommendation, no other, any discussion? Do we know what we're voting on?
Yes.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Now item number 16, election.
we don't have any.
We don't have any. Item number 17, any and all matters related to connection with matters set forth in 1 through 16. Commissioner Alexander.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to point out some of the highlights of the budget that was just approved. We were able to give our employees a very much needed raise, increase in public safety salary increases for our EMA director and our county fire chief, raises for all of our part-time employees, including archives, VA services, and solid waste attendants. We had no increase in dental or vision insurance for the employees, with a nominal increase to the medical county insurance. We're able to fund $4.9 million in capital requests, increased MOE for the library, allowing for security staffing increases for employees, continued funding for the Chamber of Commerce and their endeavors with Wraparound Blue Oval, maintained maintenance of effort for the highway department, school department with no additional tax increases, funded AEDs for public buildings and parks, which is something we did not have any in our public parks for this year. Funded improvements to the airport, including extensions of runway to accommodate the new industrial growth coming into our county. The additional funding for gang prevention under the District Attorney General's budget. And it still came in at $42,000 under the amended 23 budget. Very proud of this budget we put forth. And I'd also, while we're thanking everybody, I'd like to thank Karen and the finance department. Nobody could do what we did without all the help and the hard work that they've given, that they helped with us. So big kudos to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Any other comments anyone like to make? Anybody in the audience like to say anything? We have a solid group today. Very good. All right. Have a motion second to adjourn. Roll call.
Abernathy. Hayday. Alexander. Arnold. Black. Bond. Brown.